Hello, my name is Enrique Hernandez, and today I'll be talking about why Division I athletes should be getting paid. So first off, the NCAA is recognized as a non-profit organization, yet the NCAA alone is bringing in $11 billion just in athletics alone. So these athletes are putting 40 plus hours every week into their dedicated sport. This does not include homework or classroom work or exams, are pretty much the ones making this $11 billion revenue each year. So there are 341 Division I schools. Of the 341 schools, 24 schools reported that they made over $100 million in revenue in just in athletics alone. 77% recorded that they made less than $50 million, and 44% recorded that they made less than $20 million. So these schools are pretty much using their talent of their athletes to bring in all this revenue. And without these athletes, there wouldn't be this revenue. But they're putting their name on their back of their jerseys. They're putting them in video games, commercials, and yet these players still don't get to see a dime. So Texas A&M, which is a Division I school, reported that they made over $192.6 million in revenue just in athletics alone, according to Business Insiders. This is just amazing how the athletic department made that much money, yet the players still don't get to see a dime from it. So I was a little curious and wanted to see how much the tickets cost to go see a basketball game for a Division I school. So for the top school, Duke, which is a Division I school, I searched up the tickets just to see what the lowest price was. The lowest price was $50, and the highest price went up to above $700. That just amazes me that people are saying that these are just kids and amateurs who do not deserve to get paid. Yet people are paying over $700 just to go watch a college basketball game. That kind of just blows my mind. So according to Sports Illustrated, the head coach for Duke, which is Coach Gay, reported that he got a salary of over $8.98 million in the year of 2017. And the NCAA president reported that he gets $1.5 million in the year of 2017 for his salary. This is kind of just amazes me just because without these athletes, these coaches and the NCAA president would not be able to make that much money. So it would make sense that the NCAA would rather have them make all the money than the players. So I am keeping in mind, however, that tuition is getting paid for. To go to these schools, it's not cheap. The tuition is really expensive, and they are getting full rides to schools. However, when they have to put in 40 plus hours a week into their dedicated sport, how much time do they really have for schoolwork and for studying and for exams? So there is this rule in the NCAA called a 20-hour rule. Pretty much the 20-hour rule is that you cannot practice more than 20 hours when school is in session. However, this does not include meetings, weightlifting, filming, stuff like that, etc. So pretty much, if they have to put in all this work, how much time do they have for school? So according to Sports Illustrated, in the University of North Carolina, there's this thing called paper classes, where pretty much students of both men and women in athletics will enroll in these paper classes, and they didn't have to show up to class a single time, just require a final paper at the end of the semester and get a good grade and pass the class. So these students are pretty much getting cut from their education just to go and play sports, and yet they're still not getting paid. So there's this man named Dexter Manley who had the privilege to go to Oklahoma State for 4 years and went on to go to the NFL. But after his NFL career was over, they soon found out that he was illiterate. So what does this really mean? Did they just want people to go to the schools just to bring in revenue of over $11 billion each year for the NCAA, or are they really there for their education? So the NCAA makes a revenue of $11 billion every year, yet the players don't get to see any money until they're out of college, which kind of does not make sense because these players are the ones bringing in all the money.